What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm sharing how to wear oversized clothing as a petite. I'm so pumped to share all of these tips with you guys because I get so many questions on, well, can I wear it this way? Can I wear it this way? And I just thought it would be so nice to make an entire dedicated video on how to pull off wearing oversized clothing specifically. All of my previous petite styling tip videos, I talk about what to avoid, what to watch out for. So I did a ton of research. I experimented on myself a lot. So I'm so excited to share my favorite and best tips with you guys on how to pull off wearing oversized clothing as a petite. So that way it doesn't look like it's overwhelming your frame. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Ilana. I do weekly videos on fashion and lifestyle. Would love to have you back. And with that, let's go ahead and dive right in. My first style tip for you guys when wearing oversized clothing, it's super basic, but it is to tuck in your sweater. So we know this is a really fabulous way to keep length in your legs, because if you wear a sweater that is untucked, it can shorten your legs, and then it doesn't give much shape to the top sweater that you're wearing. So for example, I'm going to show you guys a different sweater that I have on in the B-roll. So it's this turtleneck chunky cable knit sweater. I tried to find something that was like really good oversized so I can show you guys a really good example. So one easy thing, like I just said, is when you tuck it in, it totally just gives my outfit a different look, because if it's just untucked, it just looks very frumpy, very oversized. It needs a little bit of TLC to look a little bit better. So it's just something so simple, front tuck, really easy to do, and I think it looks fabulous. Okay, this next tip, I'm so excited about this one because this one was like a revelation to me when I first discovered it. But the second tip is when you're wearing oversized clothing, you want to expose skin somewhere. No, this does not mean being skimpy. Don't take this the wrong way, but it is just exposing skin somewhere. So whether it's on your neckline, so for example this chunky sweater that I'm wearing here, the neckline is open, so it really helps break up the space and give a little bit more shape to my frame when I'm wearing this chunky oversized sweater. It could also be like this sweater dress that I have shared before. It has cutouts in the shoulders, and it totally helps kind of break up the space and give my frame and the fabric a little bit more shape. Also, another super simple way to show skin is you can literally just roll up your sleeves like this and just expose a little bit of your arms here, and it helps break up that space so much more when you're wearing something oversized. And another fun way to expose skin, so let's say you're wearing a chunky sweater, you can even expose a little bit of your ankle. I know it's like a totally different part of your body, but that also helps break up the space and not make it look like all of your clothing just covering you up completely and you're drowning in it. So even something so simple as like a little sliver of your ankle will also help tremendously as well. Okay, tip number 3 is adding a heel. So adding a heel literally gives you extra height, and when you have extra height, you can pull off a lot more clothing. It's so simple as that, and that's why we look at women who are taller, they're able to pull off like an oversized garment so much more easily than us, like me being 5'0", an elf, where it's a lot more difficult. So if you do something so simple as wearing a heel, you can pull off so many pieces of oversized clothing. It just blows my mind. This one, I know we all know this one, but I want to mention it in this video because maybe some of us don't know. So of course, wearing one oversized piece in your outfit, you don't want to overwhelm your frame by wearing oversized all the way from top to bottom. But there are ways you can get away with it if you want to. Like for example, if you want to add a belt to cinch in your waist somewhere, and so it doesn't look completely overwhelming. Also adding a heel, that will help like we just mentioned. Or you can try to find, ways to expose some skin somewhere as well. Also going monochromatic really helps with that as well. So there are definitely ways you can get away with it. You're just gonna have to play around with it, test out a few things. Just for my personal preference, I just like to wear one oversized piece at a time because I'm so small, and I just feel more comfortable if it's just one at a time, not too much. Okay. The next tip is, so I want to talk about long coats. So I mentioned this in another petite video, is to avoid longer coats because it can look frumpy on us, but I do believe that there are ways you can totally pull off longer coats if you're a small petite woman. I believe that one, adding a heel is a fabulous way because you're adding literal height, and also going for longer coats that are more structured as well. So like this black one that I have, the shoulders and like the torso, like the first half of it is very structured, and then the bottom part of it flares out a little bit, not too much. You know, it's mainly mostly structured. It goes all the way to my knees, but it does not overwhelm my frame because one, it fits my body, and then two, it is structured as well. So when you are looking for a coat that's a little bit bigger or like longer, make sure you look at the overall fit of it. The biggest thing you want to look at is the shoulders. In my opinion, that's so important because that's when it can start looking very frumpy on us, is if the shoulders are too, you know, not in the right spot. So if they're like drooping down low, you know, then you'll get more of like that drop shoulder look, because that's when it can start looking really frumpy on us. So when it comes to longer coats, I recommend opting for the more structured versions versus like the very baggy ones. But again, you know, you can still get away with like the bigger oversized ones as long as you balance it out with other things. So like if you're planning on wearing an oversized coat, balance it out with some like a skinny jean and maybe like a slimmer fitted top as well, so that way, you know, there is some balance going on, or expose a little bit of skin somewhere, so that way overall it looks like it looks amazing on you, but it's not like eating you up. Okay, and the next tip is to add a belt. So anywhere in your outfit, if you are able to, so for example, like if you're wearing a sweater dress, that way it's just not like completely hanging down on you, add a belt to it. I have this sweater dress that I showed you guys with a cutout shoulder, so like without the belt it looks totally like no shape to me, but it does come with a belt, so then I can add the belt to my waist and it really helps break up the space, add a little bit of shape to my frame, and it looks so much better. I can even do something so simple as changing out the belt for like a thinner belt as well, and I think that looks really great as well. So I think that's such a fun trick to keep in mind, is having some belts to help break up the space. Next tip is to have the same color of shoes with your jeans. So I specifically do this with black, you know, because that just makes the most sense with the colors that I have in my wardrobe. But I love doing this, you know, when I'm wearing an oversized, you know, chunky sweater, and then I just have all one color from my jeans to my feet. And so for example, it would be just like all black, a black shoe, a black pant, and an oversized sweater, because this will help keep the length in my legs and make me appear a little bit taller, especially if I'm adding a heel at the bottom as well. So I specifically love doing this with sock booties, because then I don't have to have my ankle exposed. I could just have all one color going from my hips all the way down to my feet. So next tip, a lot of times we can look frumpy wearing clothing is because a lot of oversized clothing is a little bit more of that masculine style. So for example, like blazers, boyfriend style blazers, so those look a little bit more masculine, and go for like a really oversized boyfriend style blazer, that's when it can start kind of looking a little bit frumpy. One fun way to style like oversized boyfriend blazers is to mix masculine with feminine pieces. So for example, I have this oversized like camel colored blazer. A really fun way to style this piece is I love wearing it with a dainty dress. So I can either pair it with like a floral dress, or specifically I love pairing it with this black dress with these little white polka dots in it, and it looks absolutely adorable. It totally changes the look, goes from, you know, a little bit of like a masculine piece and then more of like a feminine and girly looking piece. So that's another fun way to balance out something oversized. You can mix masculine with feminine pieces, and I think it just, that combination looks amazing. And the ninth and final tip is when, you know, choosing chunky sweaters and stuff. You don't always have to do this, but it's also a nice type of sweater to look out for and keep in mind, is choosing cropped versions. So for example, if you're one of those women that are not able to tuck in sweaters for any reason, going for a cropped version like I have on here actually is a really good option, because it won't cut off length from your legs and you don't have to worry about tucking it in. So this one that I got from Abercrombie, I feel like this is like such a perfect petite chunky sweater find, because It has the open neckline, so it helps break up the space. It's cropped as well, so it goes, you know, right to my hips here. And it just fits really, really well, and I feel like this will go well with so many different body types and also help like avoid all the extra bulk. So you know that chunky sweater that I showed you guys with the big turtleneck, that one's from Lulu's. You know, when I do tuck in that one, I still get a lot of bulk like in the back area, and you know, that's fine if you like that look, you want to have that look. Sometimes I just want it more like fitted and like slimmer looking, so this one is great because it doesn't give me any bulk in the back area. It just sits perfectly right at my hips. It's still a chunky sweater, so going for cropped versions I feel like is such a good option to keep in mind. Alright, so that does it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed all of these tips. I really hope you learned something. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any fun tips on how to pull off oversized clothing. Let me know what other types of petite videos you want to see. Love to hear your guys' ideas and suggestions. Please leave them in the comment section down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!